Welcome back to Majora's Mask. Alright. Up my volume a bit. Okay. Alright, good. Man, I gotta say, these PC ports are pretty awesome. If you like these old N64 games, definitely go check them out. Alright, so where we last left off, I was in the middle of Snowhead Temple. And I ran into a section where I needed a Deku stick. And I did not have one, so now I'm gonna go get one and then go back. Nothing real special, but my... Oops, sorry. What? Oh. That's right. My overall plan for this game is complete as much as possible, and then go and do some side quests. You know, so I'll probably doing the side questing after I beat. After I beat Snowhead. I just want a Deku stick, that's what I want. Give me a Deku stick. That's a Deku nut. That's a Deku nut. Hey man, I watched a few videos on the high guard debacle, and yeah, it is it is a mess. It really, but not unexpected, unfortunately. There you go. There's a Deku stick. Ooh, and a fairy. It does seem to be that there's this big divide, shall we say, between developer and consumer in game spaces right now. Asking about, I post videos. Oh, oh, there we go. I should get a stick here. Yeah. Money. This just occurred to me, but I'll say more about the whole high guard thing, debacle, in a minute. But in Zelda games, I feel like one of the weakest aspects of them has been like the money situation. I don't know, like you always need rupees, but they're not very like They're not very prominent. I feel like I remember in Twilight Princess, like towards the end of the game, once you got enough to buy what you needed, like you never really had to think about rupees ever again. And even in Ocarina of Time, getting the biggest wallet and then being able to go back to the gold skulltula at the end and get 50 rupees whenever you wanted, wasn't really like a good reward, you know? And so making the player care about the currency of the game, I feel like has always been a little weak. Majora's Mask still has that same issue, but I think by the fact that they take away your money every cycle. Where to clock? Kind of adds a bit more fun to it, like adding it to like having the bank there. I don't know, it just does something a bit different that puts a bit more of a focus on the currency of the game, where, you know, it's still not great for sure, but you do have to think about it more. In order to get everything, you have to, you know, play the money game. The Zelda game that handled rupees the best, by far, was A Link Between Worlds. That, because of the fact that you could rent or buy items and tackle all the... Oh, seriously? Oh my gosh, really? And tackle all the different dungeons whenever you wanted, made it so that you could, like, if you focused on rupees, you know, you were doing something that... Oh wow, you can't... Really? I thought you could totally burn these things with fire. Am I just not doing it right? This is my last one, so... Do I have to swing it? Yeah. I need the fire arrow. That's weird. I thought you could do that. Anyway, just to finish my point. Link Between Worlds had a great system that really put a worth on rupees that other games hadn't in a while, or ever. Okay, let me figure this out here. You know, it's not a big deal, the currency issue in Majora's Mask and all the other Zelda games, but that is kind of the thing. It's an aspect of the game that is a staple of the series, but doesn't necessarily add much to the game itself, if that makes any sense. Yes, you can arrow it, but I can't reach it. I'm pretty sure. No. Yeah, I can't light the arrow on fire. Thought I could, but I can't. Bomb chew. Okay, I already got everything in here. Am I missing something? Like, this is the second temple. Man, I beat this game so many times. And now Maybe we gotta go up here. Or down here. Usually, and I will say this, usually the games give you whatever you need in a certain circumstance, so I'm like, if I needed a Deku stick, they would give me one, right? Right? Yeah, it's giving me all these arrows. Man, I am wondering. Did I just not do it right with the Deku stick? We should look around. I know. Where's the yellow paint when I need it? Or where's Miles to point me in the right direction? This calls for a sip of coffee. See, kids, this is what fun looks like. Back when I was if you gamed as a child. Bombs, yeah, it's giving me all sorts of bombs. It's not giving me any Deku sticks, so I'm assuming maybe the Deku sticks are not where what I'm supposed to go for. Interesting. I didn't get anything. There's this area that I can't access because all of it's covered in ice. And there's a button. And this just takes me here. Oh, there's a key door. Maybe I just did not explore very well. Oh no, I can't. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't get up there. Oh, wait a minute. Aha! Please be... Oh, this is just gonna be a fairy. Yo, not gonna stick around too long because I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule. Hey, Seek the Sky, good to see you. I'm embarrassed right now because I'm having trouble with this, and I don't think I should. Oh, wait. That's right. That's right. I remember. Definitely switch your sleep schedule. Don't wake up at 5 a.m. or wherever you're at to watch some random YouTuber. Close. Good thing I have bombs. Or I could just be a Goron. That would work too. Yeah! This is the map. A key. Okay. What do you think? You can push something big just by standing on top of it? You're gonna have to find some way to put it down. The only connection of this is like that was a Miles moment. That's what we should coin that term. Even though it's a recent game and Navi being annoying or Tattle being annoying has been a thing for decades at this point. See, it's not too bad because at least if I wait around for a little while, hang on a second. I'm gonna kill these things and I'll do that. It goes away. It's not like Miles forces you to open up your map. I think that was one of the most annoying things about... I mean, that was the most annoying thing about Navi, was that she would just kind of interrupt the feel of things with her little jingle. But when it comes to Miles, what made Miles worse, I think, was the fact that but like, he often interrupted play. Like, it's one thing to tell the player where to go. It's another thing to do it constantly. And then it's a completely other thing when you force the player to stop and open up the map and show them a particular area. Like, in general, you never ever want to, unless you really can't help it, like, don't interrupt playtime. Like, even small things, like I remember in Breath of the Wild, which is a game I truly adore. There's a few points whenever you walk into a new area, like the beast roars, or the divine beast roars at you, and it takes a second, and Link looks around and looks at it. And I get it's done for cinematic effect, and this is a small nitpick. It's not a big deal, but like stopping the player from looking up at it and figuring it out, and determining, like, that is a I should go here moment, essentially. And it tells you where to go, and it stops playtime, so therefore I'd say don't do that. But, you know, it's a small thing. But a side note, but wasn't primary color also yellow? What do you mean primary color? Which primary color was yellow? Platforming in a game where you can't jump. Uh-oh. Where do I go now? Can't melt that thing. Oh, that's right. I gotta go over here. Oh, yes. Yeah. His primary color was yellow. Which is kind of funny. I don't think they did that on purpose, but... I think they chose... I mean... sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's red. Sometimes the item just completely sticks out in the environment. Oh yeah, Wizrobe. I can do first-person shooter controls. People don't seem to get this too about the yellow paint stuff. It's like, it's not. I'm sure I've said this before, but it's not the issue that there is something to guide the player. The issue is that it's lazy. Okay, even just changing the color to be more in line with the color palette would solve a lot of the issue. Okay, the problem is you see it and it completely takes you out of the world. People say, "Oh, I don't mind it, whatever." It's like, no, it's one of those small things that you'll notice, and Metroid Prime has it in spades. Fire arrow. Dawn of the second day. Alright. Probably get bomb shoes at some point. They're kind of useful. Oh no, it goes up. Alright. Now that we have the castle treasure, we can do all sorts of fun things. I know I could. I'm wasting magic, I know, but whatever. Gotta get the compass. Or a key, that works too. Now the question is, why couldn't I get this fairy last time? Do I need the fire, or... Yeah, what's going on with that? Do I need to jump down there? Oh, whoops. Oh, that didn't work. So weird. Why couldn't I shoot it from up there? Yeah. It's a randomizer. I just randomize all the textures and you have to kind of figure out what you need. Oh, that's because I have it on, that's why. Also, in this game too, you know, in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and many other Zelda games, they are, if we're going to use the linear word, they are linear, and but at the same time, like, Majora's Mask was like, you know, basically was like, yeah, go to the forest area, and that was kind of it. Like, you can go explore the other areas, you can't even get into some, so, you know, you could say it has the same criticism of being a linear game, but I think the big, oh, dang it. The big issue was everybody kind of already knew that about Legend of Zelda, and expectations, you do have to consider them, you know? It is a part of the whole marketing and everything of a game. You gotta consider expectations, player expectations, and what they think they're gonna get out of a Zelda game or a Metroid game. And if you're not gonna deliver on that, or if you're gonna change something, maybe tell the player. You know, maybe communicate that to them before the game starts. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, this will be Metroid like you've never seen it before. Like, you know, you can do that. I was like, why am I sliding on ice? That's why. Come here. Yeah. He's all the one here. Oh, tell those guys that beat. Morning, Tim. That beat Breath of the Wild in 5 minutes. Yeah. That's true. Breath of the Wild did tell you where to go. It was like, go beat Ganon right here. And then you can totally go that way. You've been up for 16 hours. Amen, man. If you need sleep, you don't have to stick around. Go get some rest. I mean, I appreciate it for sure, but geez. I think I got that fairy up there. Pretty sure I did. I might as well check. No fairies. Ow. Okay, making progress. Do 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 do. Oh yes. Now that I have that, I was like positive you could use Deku sticks to melt these things back in the day, but I guess not. I looked at their Steam page, and it's by. Is it by the same people that do like all the weird, like weird cat games? Tell me, I didn't stay on too long because I was like trying to work at the time. So, but what's the premise of Mugenics? Tell me about this, Eamon, because everybody's talking about it, and I heard some people were saying that the only reason it's super popular is because the person who made it has like a built-in fan base already. So. Oh, it's by the Binding of Isaac guys. That makes a lot of sense then. So yes, okay. Yeah, they got street cred now. Binding of Isaac. I've never actually played it, but it is a very popular game. Okay, what was the purpose of that room? That was the purpose of the room. You know, if they earned it. They're an indie studio, right? The guys who made Binding of Isaac. So, you know, they're using their platform to make a good game, and they don't really have to market it. It's kind of like how, Eamon, you know Markiplier, right? The super duper popular YouTuber who streams horror games, right? Yes, much like PewDiePie, but PewDiePie is I want to say a little different. But yeah, he played this game called Iron Lung, which is an indie game about you and your guy in a submarine, and he loved it so much that he used his own money to finance a movie version of it, where he himself plays the main character. And he didn't spend any money on really marketing it because, you know, he already has... His marketing was, like, just talking about the production of it in his streams, in which he gets millions of views. And, movie came out, and apparently it's actually pretty good. And, you know, kind of a, you know, definitely a ballsy move for a guy to do that. To say, I'm going to do this movie, and then star in it himself. But, you know, if you have the fan base for it already, just definitely take advantage of that. If the movie's not good, or if the content isn't good, then it will flop, which has happened before. There was some other YouTuber who made another horror movie as well, and it didn't do so well. You know, that's why I say, like, the YouTube game it requires luck, and it requires connections, and if you have a ton of different connections, like, you know, by way of your own fan base, definitely utilize it. And those who get the lucky break, if their content is not really good, then they won't last. I think I mentioned this before, but that one YouTube channel called The Background NPC, she had like 200 subscribers, and then she made a video, and Asmongold watched it, and overnight she went from like 200 subscribers to 200,000. But you know, her content is good. If it wasn't good, she would have, I think she would have flopped immediately. So yeah, you can't be like, oh, she just got lucky. But you know, yes, and she also makes good content. Like her videos, for her size, she's getting like 200,000 views per episode on that she produces, and you can't say that about a lot of content creators who have made it already. here I am, failing this Goron jump. Yeah, I seen the news around the movie, made it to #1 on the charts, only to be removed by Hollywood. Yep. When it was put back, the numbers were corrected and it slipped to #2. Yeah, that was another aspect of it that was kind of like a wake-up call to Hollywood. Like, you don't, part of the it's kind of funny. A lot of the issues with the gaming industry mirror that of a lot of the issues with Hollywood. And by that I mean like the bloated budgets, you know, the corporateness of it, doing everything for money, all that kind of stuff. Like the Critical Drinker, he has a series on why modern gaming sucks. I think that's the title of it. And he's, you know, he's got some pretty, because he primarily follows Hollywood. And that's one of the reasons. It's just the game design has gotten too bloated, and they need to cut the fat somewhere. The same issues in Hollywood. And you know, because I mentioned Critical Drinker, I'll also mention Actman. I know a lot of people don't like him, but he's entertaining, and you know, I do think he understands game design. But he also has some videos on the high guard debacle and everything like that. Did this pop up again? Oh man, I don't think I was supposed to do that. Yeah, and I have been watching more Fleekazoid videos. His videos that like I can't watch though. I have to like actually pay attention to because he talks so fast. and the jokes come quick. And they often rely on the visual with it, so it's like I can't watch him while working or anything like that. So Eamon says, simply put, the industry is populated by people that only care about money and control. Thus, it's no surprise when modern games, movies, TV shows, etc. seem to lack more often than not. Yes. Also, I do think there is a like oh man, I have to do that again? Oh man, yeah. Guess I wasn't supposed to do that. Also, I think that there's sort of like a disconnect between the art and those who consume it. Like, man, Highguard, that one Highguard dev, he went right away to blame the player base, and a lot of studios have followed suit in that, in some of their critiques. Or like, the reason why games failed. Blame the player base. Which kind of goes back to my other point of, like, if your game is good, or if your content is good, it will withstand controversy. Like, yes, there is such a thing as bad press, but you know, the old adage of like there's no bad press also sticks around here. Highguard had so much press around it that if the game was good, it would have succeeded. I'm convinced, but it wasn't, and it didn't. This is where I'm like, okay, I gotta stop talking and actually focus on this so I can beat the temple before the time runs out. No more lollygagging. The crew of ex-industry vet talking about how surprisingly convoluted and mismanaged all the big game companies are. Well, I'm wondering how they're structured too, because I know that in, at least in a lot of dev companies, they use the Scrum Agile model, which is like you have these big applications you want to make, but your teams are like really small. Like, I mean, I know game design is different, but my team, we're making this huge application, and it's still pretty small. Like maybe like 15 people, and like I can't imagine a game being a AAA game these days being made by that was close, being made by that many people. It's just, it's inconceivable. Punching snowman in the face. Not just managers, but a massive amount of consultants being brought in to make sure that it caters to the right people. Yeah, it's true. I mean, well, that's part of the bloat. It's like, if you're spending $100 million on a game, it has to succeed. And so you bring in, you can't really take risks anymore. So you need all the consultants to come in and tell you exactly what you need to do. Which I think, honestly, like, I don't know the size of the team that made Metroid Prime 4, but it had some of the similar ideas of like, okay, this is going to be a big budget game, it's going to reboot the franchise, we're going to attract more players, so therefore we need to try we need to appeal to as many people as possible. Because that's what the consultants said we needed to do. Oh, I have a shield. Wow, 2 stray fairies. Forgot about that. Any hidden things here? No. Okay. Oh man, was I not supposed to knock that down yet? Oh no. Maybe? I don't remember. A game for everyone is a game for no one. Yes, never has that been more true. I don't know, we'll see how Resident Evil 9 does. I'm not really worried about it, because, I don't know, I was happy with Resident Evil 7 and 8, and man, Resident Evil those two games, 7 and 8, I know they get a lot of hate for not being Resident Evil games, but they were a lot of fun. If you haven't played those games and you want like if you want a good like a game that should have been like Van Helsing, go play Resident Evil 8. Resident Evil 8 is just a fun game. I might play that again. Yeah, gotta go over here. I think another Whiz Road battle, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, I'll read your comment in a second. Oh no, there's more places he can run. Over here. Oh, tricky, tricky. Yeah. Amy says, ironically, I was talking to BSG, a Twitter guy, about this topic yesterday, showing him the No Rest for the Wicked discourse that was kickstarted by Larry Puce's video. Specifically, we talked about the idea that a game with multiple difficulties is just bad game design, which the lead dev responded to. Oh, he did respond to it. What did he say? Yeah, some of the shorts I've been posting have led to some interesting comments on that whole issue of difficulty tiers and accessibility and things like that. And one guy made this long post. He's like, you know, as a game dev, when I think of like accessibility, honestly, it seems like a distraction, at least at the beginning part of the creative process. Like if time I could spend on worrying about accessibility could be better spent on fine-tuning the game engine or fine-tuning the other game mechanics or the art or the music or all these other things that could make the game great. And I was like, oh, that's a pretty good point there. You know, and you know, it makes sense. It's like you want the purpose of a game is to make a good game. They're did I say this yesterday? Games are autotelic. They're like, the purpose of the game is to play the game. The purpose of the game is itself the game. And if you lose sight of that, then you know, then you might make a bad game, essentially. Pretty simple concept, but I think a lot of people forget about that. All right, what's the easiest way to get into that? I can't jump. Can I make it? Can I make that jump? Yeah, maybe. Let's give it a shot. Yeah. All right. Okay, just got to get the last stray fairy, wherever it may be. Oh, dang it. Just gotta wander around with the Great Fairy mask on now. Okay. We'll just start from the bottom up, I guess. Alright, no great fairies here. demon hell spawns. Oh man, a numbered chat. Okay, no great fairies in here, or no fairy pieces in here. More than a couple times playing this game as a kid, I'd get all the fairies and then forget to turn them into the great fairy, and I'd have to go and recapture all of them. Which is really annoying. Alright, hang on, I'll read those in a second. And I'll pause the game to do so. Okay, no great fairies here. But we'll need to come back there for sure. Alright, let's see. Eamon says... He responds to Larry, 1, I get your point, and I also always felt that we only needed one difficulty for Wicked. There's plenty of tools for almost anyone to conquer the game in normal mode. But now think about people with disabilities, people that just don't have the same reaction time the majority of players have. We receive plenty of messages from players like that for whom Wicked would be their dream game, but even with everything you said, they just don't get through it simply because they're not physically able to. Should we ignore those people completely and just tell them to go play Diablo? Most people should not play in easy mode, but if you just can't progress at all, it's an option now. Yeah, I mean that's the argument that I see, but like what is the example he said? He said there's like the reaction time issue. Okay, so if reaction time is an issue, maybe make a build in the game itself that thrives on you, that like success is not determined by your reaction time. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you can't time events properly, like I don't know how, I've never played No Rest for the Wicked, so I'm not sure exactly how it works, but like if parrying is like a big deal, like you absolutely need to parry at all times, then maybe make an item set where it increases the amount of time you have to parry, or gives you more time to do what you need to do. You know, you see what I'm saying? Like, make an in-game, which is weird coming from, oh good, it's in here. You know, this feels weird, him saying that coming from him, because they put so much time and effort into making this game the way it is. But I feel like there's like there's disabilities where a player can't physically do something, and then there's like not being able to complete something because it's hard and the player has no physical disabilities whatsoever. That is something different, I think. Yay! We did it! Okay. Parry's a big deal in the beginning of the game, but once you get past the intro tutorial and start really making some progress, you can straight up ignore the mechanic. Yeah, so I want to know, like, what were the specific issues? Because, you know, like, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound had a slider to basically you could alter enemy damage, you could alter your health, you could alter the speed of the game, everything like that. And because it's an action platformer, it doesn't rely heavily on like making sure you have the right kit. You know what I mean? It doesn't rely heavily on that kind of thing. So you can those I have mixed feelings about. I don't know how to fix it for that. But in a game like No Rest for the Wicked, or a game where there's so many different types of like items that you can get to tackle problems in different ways, like even like Elden Ring. Elden Ring had the bleed build, which was like considered easy mode. It had the mimic tier, which basically was also easy mode. Like you could literally cast like a version of yourself that was just as strong as you, and have the boss focus on that. You know, that's a way around it as well. Or like I got through the whole game without ever having to parry or block, for that matter, because of the way I decided to play. So I mean, yeah, it's another question I would have for him is like, is easy mode available like right away, or is easy mode like kind of like how Ninja Gaiden made you at least play the game on normal mode before you failed enough to get Ninja Dog mode, sort of like a dynamic difficulty adjustment, which I don't really like those anyway. But anyway, in that sense, it's good. I feel like if you're gonna do dynamic difficulty adjustment, do it the other way. Make it a choice. That's what I mean to say. Make it a choice. But simply throwing in an easy mode where enemy values are just reduced completely, I think, is not the right way to do it. It'll throw the balance of your game off and undo a lot of hard work that you put in. Like if you need to slow the game down, put an item, maybe like a passive in the game where it's like this the chalice of winter cold, and where it gives you, slows enemies around you by 10% or something like that. You know, it's there's ways to do it that are a bit more creative, that fits with the game world, that works together with other mechanics, and gives you the choice of as the player to interact with it or not, you know? And obviously, like, the game genre, you know, I don't know how to fix it for other game genres, but as some people have stated, if games are art, you know, you can't always make a game for everyone. You can't please everyone. This is one of the coolest boss fights in the Zelda series. It's one of the most unique. Ow. One of the things I really did not like about Ninja Gaiden Ragebound was that you could still get all the achievements, you could get S++ on every level, while still using assist mode. So like you could tweak the values just right so that and still get like the highest score for the level, which made, like, I don't know, those who are more competitive like myself feel a bit like, well, that kind of cheapens my success. Like I should be able to. You shouldn't be able to get the highest score in the game if you're going to use basically a Game Genie mode. And it's funny because they did the guys who made Ninja Gaiden Ragebound posted some speedrun events, and like the first rule was like you cannot use assist mode, so that like by definition they're being exclusionary by in their attempt to be inclusive to everyone. It's like, you know, there was some acknowledgement that the reality is you are going to be, it is going to be exclusive at some point. Also, I would just say, like, even for those people who are physically disabled or find the game too hard, simply putting in a slider to reduce damage or reduce game speed, it's just not fun. there's more fun ways to do it. Because at some point you don't have a game anymore. You know, you follow the logic path, and eventually you remove all resistance. And some people have pushed back on me on this, but games by definition need resistance. If you don't have resistance, you don't have a game. You got a movie at that point. It's kind of like how conflict drives narratives and stories and movies. Games are also driven by conflict, and that conflict is created by resistance, which is determined by the developer, not the player. Am I doing something wrong here? I feel like this guy should be dead already. Oh, there we go. I thought he was supposed to fall over at some point. Alright, now I'll read your comment. The biggest issue with the no rest for the wicked, at least what makes people feel trapped and unable to improve, was that your gear gets damaged when you die and healing items are limited. It caused a huge backlash. Yeah, I mean, that again, I haven't played it yet, so maybe I should. There is a point, you know, people think I'm saying that games should be as hard as they should be. It's like, no, games should be as hard as they need to be. Like, nobody complains about this game being hard. Ever notice that? Nobody ever complains about Zelda games being difficult. That's because the baseline for its difficulty is pretty accessible. Like, the majority of players will be able to complete this game. Like, the vast majority of players. No one ever says, like, oh, I never got past that temple because it was so difficult. It's like, especially in the age of the internet where you can look things up. Like, that is your accessibility mode in knowledge-based games, is you have to make the choice as a player, do I cheat and look up the answer online, or do I not? And if I know that the players can simply do that, I'm not even going to worry about, like, puzzle-solving accessibility, because they can just look it up. You know, you still have to do your due diligence to make the game fair, but, which in the case of No Rest for the Wicked, with the items being degraded and healing items limited, it seems like they pushed the difficulty a little too far. They are protective gods. The moon is definitely like the Deku Tree. I'm convinced. It's like a patron deity of this world. That's why it has a face. And it got wicked when Majora corrupted it. I love this. Oh, this game has so much charm and soul. And I'm just realizing I made a mistake. And is it night of the second day? Can I still... I don't think I can still get the sword because it needs 2 days. No, I have to... That's right. I have to do that. Okay. Yeah! Hey, Froggy. I know I can't do this now, but I'm just going to talk to him anyway. I've been waiting for you, Danjiro. Forgive me if I'm mistaken, but it looks like you've lost a little weight. As you can see, Danjiro, the long winter has ended, the spring has finally come to these mountains. Let us begin our course. Unfortunately, all of the members of the cast I love the frog choir. Bird o'clock. My weapon durability comment. I know people didn't like the weapon durability of Breath of the Wild, but I think it's a good example of like a resistor such as weapon durability, which is what it is. It's a difficulty thing in the game that has interacts with the rest of the game world in the proper way. The baseline weapon durability was great. I thought it was perfectly balanced in normal mode. In not normal mode, in master mode, it was like too much. Like I didn't fight enemies until I got Urbosa's Fury, essentially. Just because everything you'd attack enemies and like you weren't doing enough damage, and it would just break. And then you'd have no weapons to fight at all. So I think that within the same game you can have like the difficult. Yeah, it's master mode, so there you go. That's fine. It's not the baseline mode. But had they made the durability less or more, it might have been too easy and lose its purpose, which people would have been like, well, then what's the point of durability if I can just use it for as long as I have to anyway? If it's too difficult, you get what happened in the hard mode for Breath of the Wild, where they break almost immediately, it feels like. Thankfully, they realized their mistake and made the beginning of the game easier by putting in some stuff to help people learn the game without feeling trapped. Yeah, see, that's a great way to do it. You know, that's how it should be done. Okay. Okay, we got that. I'm trying to think. Have I talked to anyone? Okay, we got that. Help that guy. Oh man, I gotta talk to people. Let's go do that. Down, bees. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Don't want to forget to do this. Oh, hey, buddy. Dormani. I forget, what do we get here? O wise young one. The Great Fairy of Wisdom. Oh, cool. Imagine if those sword bros were Link's sidekicks and kept updating you on your journey to beat the dungeon. Ah! Yeah, it's like if that video I sent you, if Zelda was made in 2025 or 2026, that was perfect. All right. What did I get from the first Great Fairy? Did I return the Great Fairies of Woodfall? Can't remember. I think you got the... No, that's the one you get in Clocktown. Shoot, now I'm... Majora's Mask. Great. Fairy rewards. You get the super spin attack. Did I get that? Yes, I did. Okay, good. Just had to make sure. Alright, let's see if we can talk to some people. And get some, Bomber's Notebook stuff. These you have to beat once a day. So every day I think you have to go in and beat it. To get I don't think I'm going to go for all the heart pieces. I think that might be a little excessive. Hey, buddy. It's Mario. Does he have his Bowser brooch on? Oh no, he doesn't. They took that out. Oh. Speaking of community pushback against modern dev practice, I posted a funny pic of the new character in Overwatch. In the Discord, you posted that? Or on, on X. The Discord, okay, I'll take a look. Let's see. Discord. Dawn of the final day. Yeah. Yeah, I watched a few of those power creep and what was the name of that guy? Those videos you shared. Those are some awesome videos. I'm gonna have to watch all those. That's the new character from Overwatch? We know why. Oh man. Thought they learned their lesson. Silly me. Sure. Oh, I remember this. I forget the way to go. Not that way. Yeah. Yeah, money. I did have fun. No thanks. She looks drugged out. Oh, can I go? I gotta find that fox boy, Kefli or Kefi or something like that. He runs out and checks the mail. I think next cycle I'll do the Epona storyline. Oh no! I have to unblock the road in the first day, so that means I have to beat Snowhead again. I think. This music is so ominous. I want to go to the inn. Oh, I gotta wait. Can I get in the top door? Let's see. Okay, cool. Oof. Jeez, look at that. Look at that mask. That is creepy. Sneaking in other people's rooms, you're the worst. There she is. There's Anju. Everyone will be taking refuge first thing in the morning. Everything was supposed to be all so spirited, sad. I guess I should go. I can go to Romani Ranch and oh no, I can't get there yet because of the boulder. Employees only, no admittance. Who's manning the front desk? Oh, hello. This is the grandmother room, where you need the all-night mask, which is horrifying. Oh, a tortoise. I wonder if they, did they... I wonder what that Hylian script says. Or if it says anything at all. I think if they ever do a remake, it'll be good or probably mess everything up. Oh, this is... this... I remember learning about this. This guy is like an inside joke of like a poop demon. That supposedly like is supposed to reach out and grab you as you go to the bathroom. He needs a deed. I kind of hope, I mean, the Zelda 40th anniversary is coming up, and everybody's talking about possibly a remake of Ocarina of Time. I don't know if I want that. I don't. I don't think I do. I love this detail, how the guards are just staring up at the moon with their hands over their hearts. Like, look at that. He's clearly nervous. Yeah, God of War is getting one for all the original games. I've never actually played the God of War games. They look like a lot of fun. But I definitely think they will make changes for sure to certain aspects, shall we say. I think that's 100% going to happen. Yeah, burn. Uh-oh. The studios are already talking about modernizing it and removing problematic content. Yeah, I mean, it's just the way things are right now. And it's like, you know, it doesn't that removing that type of stuff from the game won't make it a bad game, you know, but it just follows the current values, which can be both for good or bad. And honestly, it's like some people are more sensitive to that type of stuff in their games, and you have to try to make the argument: is it part of the artistic value of the game, or is it not? So, you know, honestly, my biggest concern with it is like, will Kratos' character still be intact? It's like, yeah, there's ways that they can remove stuff from the game and modernize it, but Kratos is a violent dude. You know, it's like you can't get around that. So it all depends. Is this going to detract from his character or not? That kind of thing. It's like, did you see some people were talking about how the heads of Blizzard were talking about how they regret calling Warcraft. And there's a lot of videos like comparing Warcraft then versus Warcraft now. Which also reflects modern sensibilities, which I do think crosses the line into like, okay, then if you don't like the way the Warcraft is named, and you don't like the way that Warcraft is played, or the way that the Warcraft brand is gone, create something new. Don't you know, change it. The OG God of War games were interesting. I enjoyed them. Hopefully they don't get the Resident Evil 2 FF7 Rebirth treatment. Like, oh yeah. I mean, I doubt it. I mean, it's a spectacle fighter, and those are still quite popular. You know, I don't think they'll change the game, like how the game is played. the tank controls were tank controls for RE2, so I can understand why they updated it, but I also at the same time like the most perfect remake was the GameCube version of the original, and it's still awesome, and I kind of want to play it again. Considering Warcraft was literally stolen from Warhammer, its name and content slash combat is no surprise. Oh yeah, that's true. Alright guys, it's 6:13. I gotta get moving with my day. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Eamon, Tim, Seek the Sky if you're still there. Eamon, go get some sleep. You need it. Tomorrow we'll continue with Majora's Mask. If you're watching for the first time, consider subscribing. That would help me out greatly. Like a comment. I post all of my shorts regularly on YouTube. I also post them on all the other places: TikTok, Instagram, X, and I'm starting to post them on Rumble, but Rumble's all messed up right now. So there's different ways that you can view my stuff, but YouTube is, if you want to stay current, definitely do that. I'm going to start also making longer clips with like proper thumbnails and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes. But oh yeah, and Kick and Twitch as well. I'm on all the platforms just to see which one sticks, or one or many of them. That'd be great. But yeah, we'll continue on with Majora's Mask. Hopefully we'll beat it in the next 10 days, so then we can start Resident Evil 9, which hopefully I'll be able to actually run and stream at the same time. So anyway, have a great day, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow.